Peace to the kings, peace to the queens, peace to the earth, peace to everybody viewing this transmission, peace to all the living beings, peace, love, and light. Today, I just wanted to talk about balance and pretty much break down the reason that a lot of people are sick, at dis-ease, uncomfortable, stressed, depressed, all this stuff stems from not being balanced. You know what I mean? We're either too far left or we're too far right. And we have to understand that balance is everything. And you can see that everything has two sides. Everything has a left and a right, a up and a down. And not only physically, but also mentally, that's the case. Think about our brains. We have a left and a right side of our brains. Think about our bodies. We have a left and a right. I have a right and a left arm. I have a right and a left leg. I have two pecs. I have a left pec and a right pec. I have one nose, but there's two nostrils, a left and a right nose, two ears. You see what I'm saying? Your teeth, they're evenly separated, one side to the left and one side to the right. So everything has two sides. And what we have to do is we have to understand, just like our bodies, we don't just have one arm. We have two arms. You want to find balance within both sides. You do not want to be too far on this side or too far on that side. And same thing with our minds. You don't want to be too far left, too far right. Same thing with your feelings. You don't want to be too far on the negative side of things. You definitely would like to be more positive than negative, but you want to find balance in all of this, and a lot of people right now, we're not at balance. There's a balance that goes on within your body as well, as far as the balance of acidity to alkalinity inside of your gut. We need to find balance inside. We also need to find balance outside. We need to find a balance with being inside and being outside with nature. And that's similar to being the negative and the positive, where it's like, yes, you do want to be inside, but you want to be more in nature than you do want to be inside. The same with being positive and negative. It's like, yes, you're going to have those feelings, but you do want to transmute the negative into a positive at all times. And, positivity is really love at the end of the day. We always want to show love. We always want to give love, because what you give is what you receive. So we need to understand that, guys. And as far as finding balance with nature, we need to, we're very out of balance. We're very out of balance. Even when it comes to just standing, we need to ground into the ground. We need to find balance in our bodies. We need to become more balanced individuals in order to live a more balanced life. And when we find balance, we find peace, because peace is in balance. Peace is in balance. When you're unbalanced, you're not at peace. You're always being swayed left to right, and you're not able to be centered, be grounded. And we can see a lot of people in this life, they're not balanced right now. There's no balance. And we also need to move our bodies and learn how to be free and let our bodies move in order to let the movement kind of let these movements out, so then we can find balance in our bodies. We need to stretch our bodies out in order to come back and find the center point. But if we're never moving our bodies and we're always staying in this rigid position, we become unbalanced, and we might start walking like this, or we always sit like this. You know what I mean? There's just so many unbalanced positions that we are so regularly put into that just make us unbalanced. And when we're unbalanced, we are not stable. And when you're not stable, you can easily be pushed over, you can easily be swayed to one side or the next. And that is how they control us, is when we are out of balance and we are easily swayed to one side or another, and we can't be grounded within ourselves, and we cannot be grounded physically to the earth and receive the information from the earth that we're pulling up from our feet and that we're receiving from the sun, because we're inside all day and we're doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. And you know, it's not a good cycle to be in. It's not a good cycle to be in. We need to find balance. We need to become more flexible as far as our mobility and as far as our mental, being more flexible to adapt to new ideas and new ways of living, because we cannot keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting anything to change, because it's simply not going to, unless we take the proper steps to make a change happen. So I would suggest for a lot of people, because we should know by now the law of correspondence: as above, so below, as within, so without. If you are experiencing imbalance in your mind, that probably is a reflection that you are not balanced within your body. So you need to find balance in your body. You need to stretch your body out. You need to focus on flexibility. You need to focus on grounding into the earth, into the ground, and finding balance physically. Once you can find balance physically, and that also requires you to not sit in these positions that we are trained to sit in all the time. And just, there's so many ways that they try and get us out of balance. Keep your head up, keep your head level-headed. Do not keep your head down. You want to keep your back straight. All of this stuff helps you stay in balance. But if we don't maneuver like that, then we are out of balance, and then that affects our mental. Because as below, so above. So if we're not balanced in our body, we're not going to be balanced in our minds, and vice versa. If our minds are not balanced and we're always thinking negatively and just don't have a grounded point in our minds, and don't come to center, which is really the third eye. If we don't come to our center and we don't meditate and we don't take time to focus and nurture our mental, then our body's probably a wreck, because you are what you think about, you know? And if you have no control over what you're projecting into your mind, then you have no control really over your body. And, you know, you don't really have control over you. It's like you do have control over what you think about, because we're like a radio, and we can change our frequency to pick up different things. We can tune ourselves to pick up different frequencies. But if you stay on the same frequencies, then you're always going to be picking up these negative thoughts and these negative energies, which will then translate to the way that you move, and the way and where you sit and how you sit. Obviously, if you're stressed, you're going to be sitting and your head's going to be over like this, and you know, you're going to walk like this. You're going to feel shame, guilt, you know. But if you're positive and you're happy and you're excited about life, you're going to be standing up with your chest high, looking into the sun, hands up, arms open, wide open. You're going to open up. You're going to open up, not just your physical body, but also your heart. You're going to open your heart. You're going to open your mind. And that's inevitably what we want to do. We want to expand our consciousness. We want to grow. We want to evolve. And the only way to do that is to become balanced. Become balanced. And I'm letting you guys know right now that it is not what they want you to do. Society does not want you to do that. Society sees you stretching your body, trying to do splits. They're gonna call, and you're a guy, they might call you gay or something. But at the end of the day, it's like, these are the same people who are sick, who are imbalanced, and who can't even fathom becoming balanced. So they'd rather just be toxic. And that's completely fine, but it is up to you to stay on your route, on your journey, and not get off track by the negativity that might be projected onto you. And if there is negativity being projected onto you, you need to move away from those people, and you need to realize who your true tribe is, and who the people that are actually pushing you to do better and pushing you to become the best version of yourself are. Stay with those people. Stay with those people who understand universal law, who understand the power of balance, not only physically but mentally, and who understand that, you know, you need your space, you need your solitude, and you are on your own path and they are on their own path, and respect you for being on your path. So all in all, just make sure that you find balance, and make sure that you find balance and get out in nature and ground yourself. Look at the sun, get off the screens, because all of the screens and all that is keeping you out of balance for sure. Because these are false narratives that are being projected onto you, and you start to try and change your life and start to become unbalanced so that you can quote unquote fit in. Fitting in with unbalanced people is not gonna work. And trying to take advice from people who are unbalanced is not going to make you balanced. That is not how life works. You're not going to become a balanced individual by scrolling on TikTok and watching people do anything. You need to be with yourself. You need to take time with yourself in solitude. You need to meditate. You need to stretch. You need to exercise and start to find balance within yourself. And then everything in your life will start to become balanced from there. So on that note, I just wanted to let everybody know, find balance, find peace, find love, and you will see that everything will start to open up for you. Everything will start to open up, and you will, once you're grounded and once you're balanced, that's when you can start to receive more, and that's when you can start to carry a bigger load, because you are able to be balanced. You're not out of that, you're not out of whack, you are in balance, and that gives you the ability to take more on. Whether that is abundance, knowledge, love, all of it. So find balance, find peace, find love. Zudakai here with another transmission. Till the next one, I know that everybody has received this because everything happens for a reason. So I'm glad that it has found you, and I'm glad that we have been able to connect. If you enjoy the video, subscribe, like, comment, and I will see you guys on the next transmission. Peace. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.